As promised, the DIY solar light project. So I've tried to deconstruct this as best I can. So I'm going to give you the things that you need. This is just a little hanging planter. I think it probably had that coconut grass inside. And then along with that, I have about 9 of these little gemstones that just got glued onto each of the ribs. And then I had 1 solar light with a stake removed. That might be easier just to grab this and show these to you. No, maybe not. I'm still learning, folks, so bear with me. I had 6 of these type. I had 4 of these. Again, this was just what was available at my class, and 2 of these, so total of 6 of these larger crystals. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, looks like 10 of these little danglies. Aren't they cute? But the whole theme of mine, and I was fortunate that I got to be the first in line, so I got to pick all the crystal looking implements. So that's why I feel like my project just came out so well. And the last thing was kind of a pendant. Isn't that spectacular? When the wind blows, this thing kind of swirls around on this light. So look at that. It's a lot of fun. And then you will need your hot glue gun. So as I said, I disassembled this in the most part. So just imagine you just have a hanging basket with a coconut, shredded coconut, whatever you call that, you know, that stuff that goes inside, and then you put your dirt in there. So this is just this. So the first thing I had to do was I had to take the hook from hanging this way, because we're going to flop them the other way, and we're going to hang it actually upside down. So which one is on top here? So I'm just going to snap those each loose. And then that's what really allows you to work on the project, because now you can lay your basket down to begin with. And I just lay those things out when I first started to each side. But I'm having a hard time with this. So you can see I've just laid the chains out to each side. Okay, yes, doing these how-to videos, I'm learning. Bear with me, folks. So again, remember, none of these things are hanging here at the beginning. The first thing I started to do was, after I uncooked those, is I glued these colored crystals on each of the, I think it's 9 ribs. From there, I started hanging all these little things. Now all of them comes with this little wire hook, so I could just spread it apart and thread it over the base like this. It was kind of time consuming, but it was also fun. So now you just gotta spread that so that you can hang them from here. Yeah, easier said than done, which is why it took me a little while during class, but it was really so much fun. Yeah, it takes a while to get them threaded, but you know, if any craft project was so super simple, we probably wouldn't really enjoy it that much. Yeah, now that I think about it, I was there at least probably a good hour and a half. And you can just space these along your bar as you see fit. Maybe I even had a little tool. There we go. And then you just wind it up until it's on there, hanging. I have one more to do. So I think I put one of these in each of the spaces, which would be just like me because I need things symmetrical. Not everybody does, but it's just kind of who I am. Final one going on here. Of the, I'll call them danglies. And yes, I'm sure if I had a tool, this would be easier, but it's kind of a small space. And you know, I am getting my cataracts. The first one taken off tomorrow, thankfully. All right, let's see now. I keep trying to bend it one way, but it wants to work the other. Boy, these cataracts are something else. All right, there I actually did bend it a bit. And now I'll just kind of turn it until it kind of screws in place and gets set. And it's not going to come off. But for whatever reason, I thought that I should glue each one of these in place so that they would stay exactly where I wanted them, which is right in the middle of the post. So I just took my hot glue gun and glued on the post and the dangly. And believe it or not, I've probably had this project done for a couple of months now. And as I deconstructed it, I can't believe how solid this hot glue got. Now, the next thing I did was I moved to hanging these things. Now again, a lot of them had that threaded loop there, so that was easy to attach. I think, in fact, I think maybe at this point yeah, I would. I'd pull my lines up to the top now and reinsert them in the hook. Now you can start to see how it's going to hang. Oh, let's see, and I just kind of poked it in there. Another thing that's easier said than done. I probably shouldn't be wearing black with this, but I am. So there's one. You can see there's a little hole, there's a little gap there. There's two. And let's pull that third one out. All right, we're starting to get the idea, right? So now I think I probably just laid it on its side, and I knew I had 6 of the crystals to work with. So again, along with this loop, I'm just going to thread these around in a manner that seems right to me. Everybody, you know, can choose their own way. I tried to utilize all of these hanging hooks as much as possible so that I knew this wouldn't be sliding around on the frame, bottom frame here. So I'm going to do that first. And in fact, I'm going to cheat. See these little clips? These little clips that open up? I'm going to just push the clip open and slide the come on now, work with me, baby. Boy, I tell you, it looks easy, but this little tiny work sometimes is not. Which is probably what made it so much fun at class, because we were working as a group and each of us was doing our own thing. There, you see that now? See how I got that hook down there? So I'm going to go around, I'm going to do all 3 of those. where I have the easy hook. 2, and the last one. 3. So now, if you're like me, you're probably going to take this thing and hang it and see what you think about it. How does it look to you? Well, I looked at it and said, you know what? I think I'd like to add some more. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get 3 more. So I did my best to, like, I think this time maybe I'm going to go in between these 3 so that they're symmetrically like placed, because you know that's my thing. So this would be the middle of the first 2, and these did not come with that cute little hook, and so but they were affixed to a piece of paper, which I'm sure they came from Hobby Lobby. So I just took these little twist ties and I just took and I twisted them on. And when this is hanging in the air, no one sees that. So then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go between these 2. I have one of the ones that still has the hook, so I'm going to use the circle. Wish I knew what these things were called, but I know you all know what I'm talking about. I'm going to spread the wire apart and thread it onto this section of the frame. Ooh, that one came pretty easy. In fact, so much so that I got to squish it back together so that it doesn't fall off. Now, and then I'm going to do the final one, which is also just a twist tie. And as I said before, you're just going to twist these on with this little tie that they came attached to the cardboard from Hobby Lobby, just like that. And now since these are able to kind of slide around, I'm going to go on ahead and probably hit them with a little shot of hot glue so they stay. Good things you use all your tools, folks. I'm using both my hands, so now I'm going to use my face. All right, so I'm just going to give that a shot so it doesn't move. I'm going to bend this over and I'm going to give this one a shot so it stays fixed in a fixed position. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to give this one a shot so it stays in a fixed position. I just think that it gives everything extra strength because it is going to be hanging in the wind, and we want to try to make sure that everything, all the work we've put into putting this on here, you know, that it stays in place and stays beautiful for our enjoyment and our neighbors' enjoyment. All right, let's get these back to where they're supposed to be. It is kind of an effort in keeping things untangled, but it's well worth it because I've hung this thing out all summer long and it has just stayed perfectly. Of course, I'll be bringing it in the Minnesota winter because I don't want it to get ruined. I'm certain the freezing temps will not be good for it. So then the next piece, and again, you're going to have to work around what you have here, is I'm going to be gluing my pendant into the light. Now, this glue, I literally filled this whole tube with hot glue from the hot glue gun, and it has set so well that I cannot even get it off. So this time around, I'm going to be winding the pendant chain around the exterior of the stem. So I'm basically just going to get some hot glue threads going so that as I'm winding, it's sticking. And I don't want to wind all of it. I want to leave some things dangling and hanging because that's what makes it so cute. All right. I think that's good. Hot glue on the fingers. All right, so now the final step, and I glued this as well, is to glue this piece onto the top of the chandelier. Hot glue. If only we had 3 hands, but that's all right. I'm not opposed to using my teeth to pull stuff off. So I'm just going to make one big, super giant circle of hot glue all the way around the bottom. And I'm going to try to do this quickly so that when I set this on top, the glue is still sticky and warm. And, oops, there we go. And then I just tap and hold. So now I've got my fingers on it, so I'm kind of holding it. Let's get these chains up to where they should be. Straighten out some of these things the way they are supposed to be, because things shift when you're working with them. And there it is, the finished solar light project. How easy and how fun was that? And folks, I am here to tell you that it is just like crystals at night when the wind is blowing and it's kind of turning things around. You get the prism effect from all of these beautiful, precious bejewels. That's all I can say. I'll take a little time and take off all this excess hot glue, and then I'm going to hang it back outside. I hang mine actually in a tree in the summer when I'm at the RV resort, and right now I have it hanging in the front of my picture window. I don't think I'm going to take it to California with me because it can be so windy on certain days, and I just don't want to beat it up because it is just too precious to lose. So this project at the community center cost me $10, plus I had a great time with friends. So please, folks, join your local community centers. They have great events for everyone, and I know you're going to enjoy this project. Thank you. See you soon.